All right, this is your brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaa Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the aqua that's listening and learning. Today's video is going to be entitled The Horrific History of Breeding Farms. Okay? The horrific history of breeding farms. Now I got inspired to do this lesson because a friend of mine sent me this, and it's a very powerful video, man. All right, he goes into how the women were forced to go into these barns, and they were forced to have sex with whoever the slave master wanted them to have sex with, and that was so they can bring forth more slaves. They can bring forth more money from that. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they did that with the males as well, because they already know that the Israelite men are the ones who bring forth seed. And so when they will probably have the certain Israelite men going to certain Israelite women that was probably married to another man. All right, so this was another thing where our people were forcibly committing adultery because Esau was doing this to us, man. Okay, because like I said, Esau wanted to bring forth more children, which they were going to grow up to be slaves, man. And within this video, he goes into how, they were not called children, they were called litter of pups. And, they pretty much, Esau didn't look at us as human beings at all. All right. Esau definitely had an operation back then, just like he does now. All right. That's why when you look at certain sports, for instance, football, basketball, what they would do is they would draft these players, and before they become selected with a team, they would have the players stand in these rooms or whatever, had them stretch out their arms so then Esau can examine them, see what their arm length is, their wide span and everything like that. Look at the muscles, look at their abilities and everything like that, so then they can be chosen for the correct team in the correct position, right? That's the same thing that they did back then. They showed you that in a lot of the slavery movies, all right? Back then, they would have the men get butt-ass naked. And you already know how weird Esau is, all right? And Esau will go up to these men and have them do the exact same thing. They will analyze them and be like, okay, this man can be sold for this much, and he can go over here and work in this area. He'll be good for this, and he'll be good for that, all right? So what they would do is, they would have these breeding farms where they would get the women, like he's going to explain to you in the video. As soon as women were able to have children, they would have these women go into these barns, and they would be forced to lay with whatever man of their choosing. Okay, and like Elder Malcolm has said within a video that I recently watched, he was like, this is one of the things where our people committed a lot of adultery, because a lot of these women were with or had husbands. Okay, and now their husbands had to deal with the fact that their woman was laying down with another man forcibly, by force, man. All right. And this is one of the things that Esau is definitely ashamed of. He does not want to have this information come out, but as we all know, we are living within the last days, and it tells you that the Son of Man will be revealed. Esau will be revealed. That wicked one, Satan, which is Esau, the so-called white man. All right. So I'm going to play this video. It's about 3.5 minutes long, so you can listen to what he has to say. And then after that, we're going to grab a few scriptures, man. So let's get right into it.
You know what plantation they've never shown us, Abby? The most prominent ones. The ones that were most profitable. The breeding plantations. Why don't you want to show us those? You know why? Because after the research that I did for this album, you realize that the moment that a girl menstruated, she was put in a stable where a horse would be and forcibly mated, forcibly raped by a male of the slave master's choice. And when she had children, they weren't called children, they were called a litter of pups. The punishment, raping or killing a person in medieval Spain, is gelding. Gelding is when you take hot pincers and you take a man's balls and dick off root and stem. Killing a person, law of the Bible, right? Medieval Spain, super religious. You killed a man, he should be killed. Why were indigenous and black people categorized as subhuman? So under the law, you would not be punished for the things that you did to us. That's why. You used to be proud, right? You used to be proud, white America, of murder. You used to be proud of colonization. You used to, wow, that made us tough. And then you got ashamed of it. And that's what you're dealing with. That's what America's dealing with, a schizophrenic crisis. There's a British manual, right, that was taken out of the British Museum because within the manual, it talked about how it was a weapon of war that should be used against the indigenous population. You're ashamed of that now. You're ashamed, right? Who was Christopher Columbus? His image has been so whitewashed, but he was trafficking little girls on an island. Who does that sound like, huh? All you right-wing defenders of Christopher Columbus and his legacy, he was trafficking 9-year-old indigenous girls on an island. Who does that remind you of, you intellectual coward? Just because liberals are dog shit doesn't mean that you shake hands with the devil, right? The same way I tell people all the time who are white working class people who hear about reparations for black people and automatically get upset. You know, they hear the word Africa and they're furious already. But the problem is this. The money doesn't come from you. No, it comes from the financial institutions that banked and built their stock exchange on labor, on the payback that they got from slavery. Because reparations is not actually what African people are asking for in this country. African American people are asking for the other half of reparations. You see, America already paid reparations at the end of the Civil War to slave owners. They gave them money per black person that they let free, and they refused to honor the people that were actually victimized. So until you do that, you will always be cursed, America. And you can call me a communist, a socialist, but you know what? It doesn't matter what you call me. You know that I'm right, right? And you know that I stand more for indigenous rights than I do for the European interpretation of a left-wing ideology that doesn't always work in a cookie-cutter scenario when you plug it into Latin America. Because at the end of the day, that was still being pushed by two large governmental entities that wanted to challenge the United States' control of the region. We're tired of being pawns.
Huh. Look at that, man. So it is what it is. And as we all know, this history is coming out because, like I said, the Most High wants to reveal Esau. He wants to reveal all of the wickedness that he have done to our people. And as you can see within this video, this has definitely happened in Latin America. So for all of you black-only Israelites, you need to get it together, man. All right, they literally have a video game coming out. I forget what it's called, but it's about the Aztecs. And you actually play as the Aztecs within the video game, and you try to survive within the conquering of the conquistadors. And they said that's supposed to come out in 2025, right? And we already know the history of that, so pretty much you playing as a character that's gonna fail. And there's a lot of white people that's furious about that game coming out because it's doing what? It's exposing them. It's exposing their history, man. And, you know, Spirit got on me to bring out these videos exposing Esau within the past few days, man. Because we are within the last days and it's time for Esau to be judged. That's why. But as we heard within the beginning of the video, they will have these breeding farms. And that's the topic of this video. They will have breeding farms so they can bring forth more slaves for their own profit. Point blank, period. All right. And like I said, this caused a lot of destruction spiritually and physically to you Israelites, speaking to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because another thing that they like to hide is they always just like to say slavery was only for black people. But no, that's not the case, because Gad and Reuben and the other Latin tribes were already over here in America, okay? And then genocide happened to them, and then you got to realize a lot of the northern tribes were mixed in with our people when they were brought over here in slave ships, okay? A lot of us definitely, a lot of the Northern Kingdom definitely served slavery during the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, so this is not a black thing, man. All right, but like I said, getting back to the subject, this is the horrific history of breeding farms. They would do these things for their own profit, man. Like I said, they didn't look at you as a human being. They look at you as money, a bottle of wine, like the scriptures say in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Whatever they sold you for, that's what you were, okay? It was like, look, keep bringing forth children. And then you already know Esau, once Esau forced that woman to lay with whatever man, you already know Esau went in right after that, man. Right after that. And you already know Esau watched. Because like I said, Esau was a weirdo, man. He watched while she was over here suffering with whatever man that she was with. Okay, and then after he was done, you already know Esau's like, all right, my turn. Because that's how they get down, man. All right, so we're going to go right into the scriptures. Let's go ahead and bring it out. So we're going to get Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, because this chapter goes into the blessings at the top half, and then it goes to the curses that we were going to go through if we disobeyed Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, we were supposed to go through this. So this is Deuteronomy. We're going to start with Deuteronomy 28 and 30. And it says, thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of the Israelite men got women, and guess what? Another man lied with her. And during those breeding farms, it definitely was not her husband. Okay, that's one of the curses that we were going to go through because we disobeyed Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's a painful thing, man. Everybody knows it's a painful thing. When you realize that your woman is being slain by another man, it gets you heated, man. It gets you to the point where, yeah, you ready to take whatever spirit that was out of this earth, man. And that's why the scriptures say spirits are created for vengeance. There's a lot of men out here that's already doing it. They over here killing their baby mamas and whoever it was that they committed adultery with. And then after that, they kill themselves because they don't want to deal with the jail time. All right. And actually within the law, if somebody committed adultery, they are supposed to be put to death. All right. But this is a thing that Esau has done with our people on purpose. He forced our wives to lay with another man. And this is part of the curses. All right. Let's jump down to verse 41, I believe. Yeah. It says, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And that's one of the things that happened during the breeding farms. These women had children, and guess what? She was not able to enjoy her sons and her daughters. Why? Because they went into captivity. They were used for slavery. They were used for profit. All of these things add up within the scriptures, man. This is how you can tell that we are the chosen people of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because we fit these curses to a T, man. We fit these curses perfectly. And of course, you got to go to the main one, all the way down to verse 68. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. And we already know America is spiritually Egypt, okay, and spiritually Rome, and spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. Because we already know Egypt means hard bondage. And we did serve hard bondage during the Atlantic slave trade. And we still serving hard bondage right now. Just because we're not in chains and picking cotton does not mean that we're not slaves, man. We still got to work these 8 to 10 to 12-hour jobs every single day. If you get locked up, guess what you're doing when you go and get locked up in jail? You work, man. So we are still in Egypt, spiritually Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. All right. And that's exactly how we came over here to America, in ships. It says, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you. The Most High was going to allow Esau to do whatever he wanted to do, because this was the Most High's way of using him to punish us for what we did to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right. So we were going to go through these atrocities, and nobody was going to be able to get us out of that situation. Okay. But through the mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, these spiritual chains are being lifted up, man, because the Most High is getting ready to give us the blessing that Isaac gave us. All right. Isaac gave us the ultimate blessing, which is the kingdom, the fruits of the earth, everything, man. He's finally getting ready to give us that blessing. The kingdom of heaven is on his way. Yahushua is on his way with the angels, and we're finally getting ready to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushua within righteousness, which is going to be a beautiful thing. We don't have to worry about waking up to these nightmares every damn day, man. We can finally wake up with a smile on our face, with some type of relief. We can be at rest. It's getting ready to end. All we got to do is just be patient and do what we need to do by the Lord. All right. So let's get Psalms 55, and we're going to start at the top. It says, prayer for the destruction of the treacherous. It says, to the chief musician, Salakia of Neganoth, Mashal, a psalm of David, give ear to my prayer, O power, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. See, they cast iniquity upon us. They cast trouble. They cast sin upon us. They put us in the worst positions as much as they possibly can. The breeding farms is definitely a very, very wicked thing. That's iniquity. That's sin. That's going off, man. All right. And it says, and in wrath, they hate me. They do hate us. They hate us to the core. And they're going to continue to hate us. Even when Yahushua comes back, they're not going to, say sorry or feel bad or anything like that. They're going to continue to hate us while they're serving slavery. So it is what it is, man. So at the end of the day, we know who the wicked is. The wicked is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Let's get Lamentations, the first chapter. We're going to get Lamentations chapter 1. And it says at the top of the caption, it says the sorrows of Zion, which is you Israelites. Verse 1, it says, how did the city sit solitary that was full of people? Solitary, what is that? Meaning alone. We don't have anybody, man. How has she become as a widow? Alone. She that was great among the nations and princess among the provinces, how has she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she have none to comfort her. That's right. No, we have no hope. We have nobody to look forward to, man. People that you talk to and communicate with in this life, man, they really don't comfort you, man. The only ones that really comfort you through the spirit are the brothers and the sisters that's in the truth, through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. We don't have any comfort here. The only thing that this place offers is death and wickedness. Keep reading. It says, all her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. That's right. That's what we are right now. We're dwelling among the heathen. That's why brothers always say there was like, actually, segregation is a good thing. We don't need to be around these other nations, man. We didn't need to be around our people, but within the right spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, that's why it says she dwelleth among the heathen. When you dwell among the heathen, what happens? You start to learn their ways. You start to fall because of their ways. They put you in situations that makes you mourn, that makes you cry, put you in pain, put you to death. That's why I said she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted. And she is in bitterness. And as you read this, when it says she, we are compared to a precious woman, like the scriptures say, all right? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the husband, and us, the children of Israel, are the bride, all right? But you can read this, and it says her virgins are afflicted. When you hear the word virgin, of course, you think about what? You think about a woman. And those women were put in those breeding farms, man. And they were afflicted. And they were in bitterness, man. So this is what we go through. The ways of Zion do mourn. And when you read this chapter, I love the book of Lamentations, man. It's very powerful. All right, because it actually puts you in the mindset of how we used to be. We used to be royal. We used to be right. We used to be excellent. We used to be beautiful. We are not those things anymore, man. Now we nigger women, we niggas, we spics, we thugs, we gangsters, We like cocking our hat to the side, wearing jerseys, being dirty on purpose. Because our people are not clean, man. Literally. They not clean as far as their body is concerned. You going in Jake's house, the house is dirty as hell. We just literally at the lowest of the lowest, man. All right, so that's why, when you read these scriptures, man, it definitely puts you in a very, very spiritual situation, man. I'm just, like I said, the book of Lamentations, it really make you think. You just want to see it. You want to see how we used to be like when we were in our right minds, man. But we actually going to see it, and we're going to live it as well, man. But getting back to this is what it is, man. Verse 5, it says, her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper, for the Lord have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. All right. We are definitely in captivity, and there's nothing we can do about it until Yahushua comes back. And that's getting ready to happen soon, because a major prophecy is among us, which is the MOTB, which is the chip. As soon as that is mandatory, like Apostle Tahar always says, everything is going to move quick, man. World War III is going to pop off. The famine is going to pop off, or the famine might happen before then. All right. But everything's going to happen quick as far as the fall of Esau society is concerned. Okay. So this is what we're going through. And we're going to continue to go through this, but it's all good. Just hold on tight, man. Keep praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai so we can get up out of here. So let's get one last scripture, and then we'll close it out. Let me make sure I spell this right. Make sure I spell this right. All right, so this is as you can see within the caption, it says a time for everything, right? We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Verse 15, and this one says something different. It says, the Most High set eternity in the heart of man. All right. So we're just going to get to the point. Or do we want to read? We'll just get to the point. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is, Salakian, that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. So the Most High has not forgotten what Esau has done unto us. Let's read it one more time. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. All right. He requires every single thing that Esau have done in the past. Esau loves to bring out the fact, oh, that happened 400 or 500 years ago. You should just forget it. No. The Most High no, I remember what you did, and I will not forget it. And he's going to make sure that Esau feels that shame every single day until Yahushua comes back. And even then, they're going to feel that shame even more, because like I said in my past video, they're going to have to be judged. And one of the ways that when you get judged is the people expose you. Just like when you go to court, people have videotapes or, footage of you doing a certain crime, or they might have an audio thing if you saying certain things or whatever evidence there is. They expose all of that, so then the jury can be like, damn, you actually did that. And then guess what? Then after that, they get judged. They get sentenced to whatever, amount of years, months, or whatever they need to serve in jail. This time is going to be different for Esau, because he's going to be judged, and the Most High is going to expose everything that he have done, period. All right. And then they're going to see everything that they have done. And guess what Yahushua is going to say? 1,000 years worth of slavery. That's what their judgment is going to be. And that's what's getting ready to happen because of everything that they have done to us in the past, all the way up until now. All right. So this is what's getting ready to happen. And it's needed. It is very much needed, because as we all know, we getting tired of this place. We getting tired of being here. We ready for a change. All right. And we ready to see our enemies fall. And we ready to see our enemies get what they deserve. All right. So I hope this was edifying. So with that, I'm going to say, call Halayim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaa Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akwat that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazad, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharala. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.